Hola amigos y amigas, you are now with Jocelyn y como siempre, I am so grateful you are here. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. You already know all the goodness we're going to be getting into in this video. And if you are new here, welcome as well. If you enjoy lifestyle, spirituality, self-development, journaling, and all of that good stuff, then make sure to click subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my weekly videos and you join in on this beautiful, growing community. In this video, I'm going to be sharing 8 journaling prompts that are directly inspired by our upcoming new moon solar eclipse in Taurus that we have taking place on April 30th. Now, some fear eclipse season, but in indigenous culture, this is something that I shared in my weekly newsletter. So if you're subscribed, go and check out the newsletter that I sent on Sunday. But in indigenous culture, eclipses are very sacred. They are a time of deep reverence to the rebirth and renewal that are taking place. It is a time of great transformation, of death and rebirth. It is a time to be calm and to be in a meditative state, affirming the renewal, affirming the rebirth after the solar eclipse has taken place, after the eclipse has taken place. So this is a really beautiful time to be calling in the newness and the renewal that you are deeply desiring and deserving of, and to be willing to let go and honor the death as well as an integral part of the process, right? So I'm really excited to be sharing these prompts with you, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get into them. Do I sense any tension in my life? If yes, what do I need to open up to release it? Something that is important to know when it comes to tension, when it comes to blockages, when it comes to obstacles, when it comes to stagnancies in energy, what we need to do to release it, to let it flow, is open up. So I wanted us to acknowledge this truth and reflect on the ways in which we need to open up to release these tensions, to release these blockages, to release these stagnancies, these setbacks, these obstacles. And I want you to be expansive on your perspective of tension, right? Sometimes when we think of tension, we think of physical tension. But I want you to think about tensions that you may be feeling in all areas, in different areas and aspects of your life. Are there any tensions in a certain relationship in your life? Perhaps tensions with money, tensions with your passions, tensions with yourself, tensions with your heart. Maybe they are physical tensions. So be mindful of mind, body, and spirit with this one, and allow this prompt to serve as a warm-up. In what ways have I been intentionally disrupting old patterns? Have you experienced, oh, my ear is ringing. I've been experiencing a lot of ear ringing lately, a lot of divine affirmation and signaling, but back to the prompt. How have you caught yourself repeating an old pattern, an outdated pattern, a cycle in which you know you no longer resonate with? And in you catching yourself, you allowed yourself to choose differently. You caught yourself and you said, I don't resonate with this anymore, so I'm going to choose different. This is the prompt that is getting us to shed light on the ways in which we have been choosing different. So how have you been intentionally, with conscious awareness, disrupting old patterns that you are acknowledging you no longer resonate with, that you are affirming, you no longer want to repeat. And if you are listening to this prompt and you're like, I actually haven't been intentionally doing that, but now that you're bringing this to light and I'm hearing you say it, I'm feeling called to move forward in intentionally disrupting these patterns. If that's the case for you, then go ahead and use this prompt as a prompt in which you are affirming moving forward from here on the patterns you're going to start disrupting, the patterns that are outdated, that you no longer resonate with, that you are affirming you're no longer going to repeat. So this can either be you acknowledging the patterns you've already been disrupting, or this prompt can serve as an opportunity to affirm moving forward what patterns, cycles you are going to disrupt. How have I been exploring myself and what have I discovered? My intention in sharing the first two prompts is to have assisted you in expanding on this prompt. If you did the last two prompts, then you already have been in the process of exploring yourself. So you can refer back to what you wrote down to build upon this prompt. But how have you found yourself exploring yourself mentally, physically, spiritually? In your relationships, in your relationship with yourself, in your spirituality, in your awakening, in your healing, in your passions, in the content you follow, in your curiosities. There's just so many different ways I feel that we have been exploring ourselves in new ways, perhaps. And in those explorations, we have been making discoveries. Now, have we been taking the time and holding the space to actually acknowledge the discoveries that we have been making in this explorative journey? I don't know, but that is what this prompt is here for us to actually finally sit down and reflect on our explorations and our discoveries. So what have you been exploring within yourself and what have you discovered? What recent endings in my life have felt sacred and necessary for my rebirth? As I mentioned earlier in this video and in the newsletter that I sent on Sunday, in Indigenous culture, eclipses are seen as a time for deep reverence and honor for both the deaths and the rebirths that are taking place in this season. And all of these prompts are directly inspired by this solar eclipse, by the energetic themes that we are surrounded by, that we have been surrounded by, and that have been influencing and impacting our lives. So I know that we have all been experiencing sacred endings that are worth honoring, even if they may have come with hurt and disappointment and discomfort and sadness and grief. We have to acknowledge that they have been of service to our renewal, to our rebirth, right? It is all this really beautiful, divine part of the process of life and healing and growth and expansion and ascension. So let's take that moment to honor the endings and to write them down and to thank them and to see them as sacred and to remind ourselves that they were necessary. Which realizations and remembrances have enlightened my heart? When we are thinking about the word enlightenment, it is bringing forth the light to the life in the experience. So with this prompt, which realizations and remembrances have brought forth and gifted light to your heart, to the experience of your heart and all that is heart-centered in your life. I say remembrances because truly this journey of spirituality and awakening and healing is all leading us back to our heart, to our truth, and to our divine essence. So a lot of this work that we have been doing in our healing and awakening is heart coherence, heart expansion, right? So as some of you who watch these journaling prompt videos often, you know that I love bringing our heart into the conversation, into the reflection, into the ritual under these lunations, and especially in this eclipse. How could we not acknowledge and have a conversation with our heart? So let's think about and reflect on and journal the realizations and remembrances that we've had in our journey recently that have illuminated, that have enlightened our heart. And if you would like to expand on it, express why. And don't only journal the remembrance and the realization, but why did that realization, why did that remembrance enlighten your heart? And talk about the impact, talk about how you felt, get specific, get detailed. How has my relationship with myself healed and elevated? This may seem like a very basic prompt, but it's a really significant prompt. It is an important prompt. And even though you may have already journaled in the recent past about your relationship with yourself and about your healing, it's important that we continuously and consistently hold space for checking in with our relationship with ourself and how it has changed, how it has shifted, how it has healed, how it has elevated, right? How has your relationship with yourself ascended to higher timelines? How has your relationship with yourself begun to vibrate on a higher frequency and changed your whole being, changed the way that you show up in this world, changed the way that you show up for yourself, right? So let's talk about it. Let's have this conversation with ourselves. And I feel like it would be really beautiful if you're open to it, for those of you who do journal this prompt, to look in the mirror and read what you wrote down to yourself and tell yourself how your relationship with yourself has changed and how it has elevated and how it has healed. And I feel like that will bring forth even more healing and elevation for you. What mental, physical, spiritual values have my devotion? This is a really beautiful and essential time for us to be checking in with our devotions, with our commitments, and get really clear on them under this new moon, under the solar eclipse, as we are stepping into eclipse season and stepping into a transformative period. Let's make sure that we are clear on our devotions, we're clear on our commitments, and more specifically on our values. Our mental values, our spiritual values, our physical values. And by physical, I don't just mean our body. I mean actual physical, like our career, our family, our friendships, mentally, physically, spiritually. Let's take this moment to really hone in on our values and our devotions, because this is our root, right? This is what we are rooted in. This is what we are sprouting from in our rebirth. So what values have your devotion? What values have your commitment? And if you would like to expand on this prompt, explain why, right? With any prompt, not just these prompts, but any prompt, any reflection, whenever you want to expand more on it, just ask yourself the question, why? The simple question, the one word question, why, is such a powerful question and prompt in and of itself on its own, because it's a gateway, it's a portal, it is a bridge to even deeper understanding and clarity. So if you would like to expand on why these values have your devotion, why they have your commitment, then ask yourself why and expand on each value even more as to why it has your devotion. Because being devoted to something, being committed to something is really, really significant and powerful. So let's get clear on it and let's root ourselves even deeper into this clarity. What are the intentions I am currently affirming over my life? I was going to make this prompt the very first prompt, but then I figured that I would make it the last prompt, because now you have all of these other prompts that have assisted you in gaining more clarity, gaining a deeper understanding and a higher conscious awareness on yourself and your journey and where you're currently at and what you are transcending from and what you're rooted in and what you've learned and all of these things, right? No matter how many prompts you ended up doing, you don't have to do all of them, okay? Just do the ones that you resonate with, but refer back to what it is that you've written down in this journaling session under this solar eclipse and use it to expand on and affirm the intentions that you are speaking over your life, that you are calling in, that you are making space for, that you are excited about, right? Be excited, like really ground yourself in the emotions that you are looking forward to fully embodying and experiencing and step into as you are manifesting these intentions and these affirmations. So what intentions are you affirming over your life as we step into this eclipse season, this transformative period of death and rebirth, a really, really beautiful sacred time? Let us close out this journaling session, this beautiful introspective session, with our intentions. This can be a prayer, this can be an affirmation, this could be a letter, this could be a poem. Get creative. There are no rules to journaling. That's what makes it just so fun and playful and beautiful and unique to you, right? So enjoy this one, be calm in this one, confident in this one, and may the other prompts that you have journaled assist you. And that, my friends, are the 8 journaling prompts for our upcoming new moon solar eclipse in Taurus taking place on April 30th, 2022. I pray that you enjoyed at least one of these prompts, that you resonated with at least one of these prompts. And if you did, I would love to know which one in the comment section below. You already know I love creating and cultivating community in the comments and connecting with you all. I am so deeply honored that you have watched this video and that you have tuned in with me and that you may be using one or more of these prompts in your new moon, solar eclipse, ritual, and reflections. Truly, thank you for being here and thank you for bringing me into your present moment. I honor and value your time and energy so much. You are such a precious human, and I thank you. I thank you, I thank you, I thank you. Congratulations for all the healing, all the growth, all the ascending, all the expansion that you have been experiencing, that you have been investing in. You deserve it. I know at times it has not been easy, but you have been doing it because you know you deserve it. You are worthy of it. You are worthy of experiencing your higher potentials, regardless of the challenges and the obstacles and the blockages that may get in the way. Know that what is meant for you is waiting for you. It is not going anywhere, okay? Take your time, breathe deeply through this journey in expansion, and trust yourself. Prioritize yourself and your well-being. You're so beautiful for even watching a video like this. That brings you closer to yourself, okay? Thank you for being here. Let's have a beautiful eclipse season, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.